going to read V51S. We are going to read what? V51S. Because if you look at V51S, we all know that V51S just introduced into the market last year. Yeah. It added in the VIX in last year. Yeah, that's in the year 2020. Okay, we all know that before we trade, we want to what? We want to see price moving the higher highs. We always want to see price moving if it is uptrend, we want to see price moving in what? Higher highs and what? Higher lows before we join the trend, we join the momentum. And if you look at here, if you look at on the weekly time frame, we can clearly see that we have what? Impulse here, right? So we are anticipating what? A correction. And now price is what? In the our strong support area. So what are we expecting? We are expecting price to move to the upside, right? But we were having some consolidation in what? A lower time frame. It is what we are expecting. Price is what? Consolidating what in a lower time frame. That's 8 hours time frame and then 4 hours time frame. So how are we going to read? Because let me try to what zoom out a bit and see. If you look at here, you can clearly see that from here, if you are a beginner, you can find it difficult. Okay, let me say different so that you can get confused from there. Let me try to say a different chart. I want to confuse you a little. Okay, let me say this one. Then can we all see my chart? If you can see, please let me see high on the chart session. Please try to mute yourself when you're trying to avoid back noise. Try to mute yourself when you're trying to avoid what? Back noise. So looking at here, yes, 1 hour, let's go to 4 hours time frame so that we always see what says that we want to we look the directional buyer from what? 4 hours and the daily time frame. Yeah. If you look at 4 hours time frame, if you look at here, there's no trend here. Can you see that? You can, if you're a beginner, you can't even identify, there's no trend structure. Looking at here, we can clearly see that price is what? Just consolidating around here. Price is what? Just trading up and down in this area. Price we're trading around this. There's no trend here. We don't have trend within. We don't have trend, but there's a secret behind this one I want to show you. That's why I started this meeting. The secret is that you may think that what we have here, we having price moving to the downside, because look at here, we have a strong movement to the downside. So you were what? Expecting rates around this area, then continuing to the downside, but price what? Fail to what? Give that structure, and it break out to the upside. If you read here, if you go to the lower time frame, you may going to have what? A lower lows and lower highs around this area. If you look at here, if you go to the lower time frame, you may what? Reading for what? Selling opportunity. You may what? Look for what? Selling opportunity around this area. Because if you go to the lower time frame, definitely you are going to sell around this region. Why? Because for all on the lower time frame, price get a breakout on this key level. So you are what? Going to look for what? Price to hit here, then continuing to what? To the downside. But it what? It failed. The secret is that there is what on the weekly time frame and on the daily time frame, the overall trend is what uptrend. That the directional bias is what up. The directional bias is what is up. So why price is what ranging here? Why price is not what getting a strong movement either upside or downside? Let's go to 8 hours time frame so that we can identify it clearly. If you go to the 8 hours time frame, the thing is, when we're trying to try to work, that's the reason why we said we don't ignore any time frame. We combine, we take whatever happened on the time frame, we take it what into consideration. If you look at here, we said what whenever price is what moving a consolidation phase, we have 3 stages of what market, 3 phases of market move. That you have what impulse, and then what a correction. A correction come in the form of like this, and then impulse, then correction, impulse, then correction, right? So recently, if you look at here, if you go to the weekly time frame, you can see that on the weekly time frame, we found out that we have what a strong impulse here on the weekly time frame. We have a strong impulse. Price were on the weekly time, price were what moving to the downside, but we got what a breakout on the recent swing what swing low, swing high. Sorry, we got a breakout of our recent swing high on the weekly time frame. So we were what expecting price to come back to this key level, then continuing to the upside, and it's happened. And price came back again on the weekly time frame. We're still having what an order block, and we said before we can consider price is in a downtrend, we are expecting price to break out what the recent swing what swing low before we consider the price is what in a downtrend. Do you get the breakout? No. So that's the reason why we still, so for now we are interested to all looking for buy opportunity. And the price, I place a buy entry around this area because there is what a lot of what buyers sitting around here, and at the same time there is what an order block. If you look at here, look at this place. Let me change so that you can see it clearly. Let me put it. Yeah, if you look at this area, you can clearly see that there's what a buying pressure around this area. Can you see that there's a buy pressure around this area? Price hits this area, price gets this area, and we have what a very strong momentum to the upside. So meaning that definitely price buyers may what start controlling the price. Buyers can what pushing the price higher to from here. Are you getting me? Because there's what a buying pressure sitting around this area. If that is so, definitely if price get back to that key level, even if it will continue to the downside, we might what get a rejection. Are you getting me? We might what get a rejection before what continues into the downside. The reason why I'm always looking for this key level, like it's also serve as what an order block. The reason why that keys always a strong market rejection is that because the pressure there is what is high. The pressure there is what is very high and it's very strong. So if you look at here, right after price hit this area, we got a very strong momentum to the upside, meaning the buyers are what are here. They are strongest here are what they always pushing the price to the upside. So before we can before price can continue to the downside, we have to what get a breakout of that region, retest, then continuing to the downside. So if you look at my setup, what is it? If you look at my setup, yeah, this is my setup. If you look at here, you see that I made some points here. Can you see that? I place as a star here, indicating that this is what an area for what the buying pressure. So meaning before I will join selling opportunity, I'm expecting price to break this zone. Can you see that? Before I look for selling opportunities, I have to what expecting price what to break this area before what I will go into what looking for selling opportunity. And if price hit this area, I'm expecting to take my profit around this region. Why? Because buyers are sitting here again. Can you see that? I'm expecting price. If price break out from this region, I will take my TP here, meaning that if price come back here, I'm having buyers strong buyers pressure around here. So definitely they will give me what, a strong momentum to what, to the downside. So on the swing on the retracement rate, what we have, we having a high and the lows around this area. So what are we expecting? We are expecting price to break out at least the recent what, swing low, swing high before what, retest before what, continuation to the upside. Do you get it? By the reason why I place trade before getting the breakout is that if you look at here, we have a strategy called KA 18 to 20. Those who are in my premium group, they know how to use it on the lower time frame. Yeah, so you may get an entry before what, the price will break out from what, from the higher time frame. You can use K18 and 20 to get an entry before what, price will break out on the lower higher time frame. So if you look at here, what we have a certain order block here. We have what, an order block here. The reason why I place a buy entry on that area, there's the order block, right? There's what, a bullish order block. Let me try and change the color so that we have what, a bullish order block around this area. Yeah, so this is what, an order block. So meaning that price will come back this key level and continue to the upside. So I right after price hit here, I found out that now price is what, in between this area. So what am I expecting again? We are expecting to see price what, to start creating what, a higher highs and what, a higher lows before we start what, before we say that another block is what, confirm. And before, whenever we have an order block, we have to get what, equilibrium. Whenever we have order block, we have to get what, equilibrium. And this area, what are equilibrium? Equilibrium is what, an area of what, like an area where price is what, fighting to what, break out, or where price is what, trying to gather momentum from there. So this is what, this area are serving as what, this area are serving as what, other equilibriums. These areas are serving as what, an equilibrium. So on the lower time frame, you can clearly see that from here on the lower time frame, we're having a lower lows and what, lower highs within here, and we're able to get a breakout from the lower time frame, from the recent high. So I waited for price to come back to this key level before what, continuing to the upside. So I got my entry on the what, 5 minutes time frame. So on a 5 minute time frame, there's a breakout of what, recent swing high. There's a breakout from what, recent swing high. That's why I place a buy entry here. Then I am expecting price to what, to hit this region. I'm expecting price to hit this region before what, retest. I'm expecting price what, to come back to this key level before price might what, come reverse for the 4 hours confirmation. So all these breakouts are served as what, if you are part of KA Trade Institute, all this this breakout is just an what, evidence. This breakout is just an what, evidence for us. So I'm expecting price at least to come back to this low key level. Then before what, I'll get retest around this zone, then continuation to the upside here. So definitely I'm targeting this price so that I'll take a profit. Then I'll wait for retracement for confirmation of the 4 hours time frame, the 8 hours time frame, then continuation to what, to the upside. So recently, if you are looking for opportunity on the V50 wonders, I would advise you to what, looking for what, buying opportunities, because looking at the weekly time frame, we price what, we expecting price to what, to able to consume all this swing low here. All this happening here is just an what, a retracement. We said that when price is moving when price is trying to retrace, we having what a string lows. So all these are what just retracement what channel here. So we are expecting now we having prices recent a very strong support area. So we are expecting price what to consume all these lows to create another what another high. So price might what go to higher, push to what a high, a very strong high before retest around this area. We may going to get retest around this area, then continuation to what to the upside. Do you get it? So I would advise you avoid all selling opportunities for now. So either we get a breakout around this area, then retest around this area before what you look for selling opportunity. But if you are looking for opportunity on V51s, for now, you have to what? Wait for price. If you are not in for now, if you are not riding V51s, I will advise you to what? To try to exercise patience, like getting a momentum shift from this key level, then retest around this area, then continuation to what? To the upside. So you what? I'm expecting you to start buying from here. Right after price get into that area, then you have to start what? Buying from there. You get it? If price fail to give us a retest around this area, then you still need to exercise patience. If price break out from this area, it will give a retest around here, then continuation to what? To the upside. So never change until you see what like a tangible zones before what you start placing a trade. Because V51s and V75 are very volatile. And if you try to change their trend, you're going to what? You're going to risk a very huge amount, or you are going to risk a very huge capital. Like let's say if you're having $100 account or $200 account, and you risk about 20, 30, 40, you are going to blow your account. So try to what? Exercise a lot of patience on V51s and the V75 V75. Because if you're able to exercise patience and read them very well, you can get what? A very strong movement. A very strong movement, so that you can ride the price and get positive to your account. So what we are going to do is that we are expecting price to push up to the higher bit before continuing to the other side. Don't say that price has retraced here, because let me show you something. Don't say that price is now reversing, so it's ranging. Let me saw some of us as soon as we see price buying for long, we say it's about to what? Fall. So let's try into what? Taking sell trades. No, we don't do that. If you do that, you're always going to risk your capital. Look at here. There's another block here. And you see that we got a breakout from there. So definitely price my what? Just respecting this key level and then continuing to the upside. So I would advise you to continue exercise patience to see the clear movement, because we are certain price to start. Recent what we have a lower lows and lower highs. Here, that's what we have, and meaning that price is what? Moving to the downside. Do you get it? And some retracement can be what? A reversal. The reason why we need to exercise patience is that some retracement can be what? A reversal. So you have to what? Still exercise patience to see strong momentum to the upside, then reverse to this key level before what? Continuing to the upside. Do you get it? I hope it's clear to you all. If you understand, let me see high on the chart session. If all is clear to you, let me see high on the chart session. Let me see high if it is clear to you. Please try to mute yourself. Try to mute yourself to avoid back noise. Let me see how if you understand. Okay. Thank God. So what I'm trying to explain to you that V51s is very volatile, and the way it's moving recently, you need to what? Exercise patience to see the trend, because always we said what? We should make the trend as our friend. We should make the trend as our friend. So we are expecting price to start creating what? A higher highs and higher lows. We are only interested in what? Buying opportunities for now. So if we are interested and price is moving lower lows and lower highs. What are you expecting to see before you join the buying opportunities? We are expecting price to start moving a high and then a low, then we join the momentum from here. So now we have what? We have a high here, right? We have a high here, and then we have a mini low here. This one is not a very strong. It can be just retracement. So we are expecting price to break out from this key level, then retest around this area, then continuation to the upside. You get it? So this is what we are expecting before we join the momentum, the momentum, so that we can ride to this key level. Can we see where we are expecting right now? So if you are buying here, meaning you are greedy, don't try to be first bet. Don't try to be first bet in the air, but try to be like a late bet to fry. If you be a late, you're going to see the farmer you're going to see the farmer. So you're going to see the farmer, but you're going to get a food to eat. So please, this is what we are expecting the price to give us before we join the buying opportunity on a V50 1S. Or we should if selling opportunity, we should exercise patience. If price break out from this key level, then retest around this area, then we continue to looking for selling opportunities. Yeah, if you have any question, please you can ask right now. If you have any question, let's go it one after the other. Mr. Samuel, do you have any question?
Yeah, hello. I have one question.
Yeah, I'm listening.
If I want to know when you have made your key levels again, so you're expecting the price to reach your trade test before you get in the market. Before you get in the market, before you get in the market on the retest, do you consider some of the candle patterns or anything?
The thing is, if you are trading with a trend, we don't always consider the counterparts. Are you getting me? We only consider the counterparts because let me tell you something. There's a secret in the market movement. If price wanted to retrace, whenever price is moving to the upside, like when we're having an uptrend, you get it, and the trend wanted to get in over, you are going to see a shortened candlesticks. Like the momentum to the upside, like the bullish candles are going to reduce. Are you getting me?
Yes.
If you have an uptrend, the bullish candles are going to reduce, and then the what do you call it? The bullish candlesticks are going to increase. Are you getting me? Meaning that if you see something like this, meaning that the trend want to get over, right? The trend want to get over, because if you're having an uptrend like this and we're able to get a strong momentum to the downside, can you see that? The retest, the thing is, if you're having an uptrend, the retest should be be like this, the up like small candlesticks. You get it? The bullish candlestick should reduce a bit, but whenever we having a strong bullish candlestick moving to the downside and it's able to break out from recent swing low, meaning that's where you need to consider the morning star and the living star and then those kind of candlestick patterns. Are you getting me? Because if you get a very strong candlestick like breaking out from this area, you don't need to join. You don't need to enter buying up. You don't need to buy from here. But if price able to reject and leave us weak rejection here, that's the only when we consider the weak rejection here, then we place a buy around here, then we put our stop loss below the low key.
Okay.
Yeah, but if the retracement is being like this, like what we are seeing right now, like going down, like moving like this, if you see something like this and price hits the strong what do you call it, the support zone, that one you are not expecting to see candlestick patterns. You need to buy instant. because as soon as that hits that area, the next open candlestick will be very strong momentum to the upside without retracement.
Okay.
I hope it's clear to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Is there any question or that's all?
That's all for me.
Okay, Mr. Agulum, do you have any question? Mr. Agulum, do you have any question? Hello? Okay, Mr. Alec, do you have any question? Mr. Alec, let me hear you. Hello? Can I hear you? Okay, Mr. Dali, do you have any question? Mr. Dali?
No, all good, sir. All good. Thank you very much.
Okay. Mr. Alec, do you have any question?
Hello.
Yeah, hello, Mr. Gioni. I don't know whether Mr. Alec is your network problem, but we can't hear you well. Okay, Mr. Gioni, JN5001S, do you have any question? Mr. Gioni, do you have any question? Please, if you have question, you can just unmute yourself, then you ask. If there's no question, Mr. Ostino. Mr. Ostino.
No question.
Okay. So let me try to conclude everything. I think, or Sabina, Madam Sabina, is there any question?
No question, sir.
Okay, Madam Martha, do you have any question? Okay, let me conclude everything for you. So for now, what we are looking for is what a buying opportunity on V51s. Let me try to like do recap on V75 for you so that you know what you should look for on the V51s. Okay, Mr. Alex said my question is confusing on analysis based on what time frames. That one, the multiple time frame, you need to join the premium with $50, like so that we will have time for that one. We have time for that one. Because if you analyze the chart, you need to consider all the time frames. You don't need to ignore basing on only the lower time frame, because on the lower time frame, let's say if on a lower time frame, if you're having a higher uptrend on a lower time frame, the secret behind the higher time frame is that on the higher time frame, if price reaches a very strong support resistance level from the lower time frame, if price reaches a very strong support from the higher time frame, on the lower time frame, we are going to get a very strong momentum to the downside without retest, without any retracement. So you may going to get confused. Do you get it? But if you're able to calculate everything from the higher time frame to the down time frame, then you are going to get everything clear. So on the lower time frame, price moving to a higher highs and price gets an area, a key level like this, you are no more looking for what? Buying opportunity, but you are rather what? Looking for selling opportunity. Like the same thing happened to this one. If we are looking for selling opportunity here, as soon as you see that you find out that price is now at a very strong support level, you are not interested in what? Buy a selling opportunity again. By what? You are interested in what? buying opportunity. That's the reason why we do a top-down analysis, right? So V75 also is doing the same thing. That one too, we expecting price to move to the upside. But the secret, let me try to sell this. Let me try to sell the weekly time frame. Because the secret behind V75 is that recently we can clearly see that on a weekly time frame, what we can see that price is what moving to higher highs and higher lows, right? So before we will get, if only price will tilt to the downside, you see that if you go to the week daily time frame, you can see that we're having a double top here. So if price fade to break out from this key level, meaning that it will going to collect some liquidity from here, we will get liquidity here, then price will come back to downside. Now we having what? It creates what? A double top on a weekly time frame. Do you get it? So if you're able to get a double top here, meaning we are going to looking for selling opportunity, well, definitely we may going to get a breakout around this area, then continuing to what? To the downside. So for now, we are only interested to buy opportunity until we break what the most recent swing low. So V75 too is also moving the same as V51S is moving. So please try to look at how you calculate them. Try to combine the time frame from try to combine the chart from from the higher time frame to see the clear picture before taking and entry opportunities, so that you are not going to place a trade at a long time. Good. We will end here. I think next time we will meet again if there's anything. But if you need more, you can join my premium group with only $50, so that we can all do the we can all analyze the chart together and make money together. Okay, may God bless you all. Thank you for joining me. We shall meet another day. Thank you. Have a nice day. Thank you. Bye. You're back.